Welcome to the Awaken Your Ego Podcast, where we embark on a transformative journey towards unleashing your highest potential. I'm your host, Joanne, and I'm thrilled to guide you through discussions that delve into the realms of physical, mental, and spiritual wellness.
Brenna here. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of wellness, offering insights and practical tips to enhance your overall health. From rejuvenating your body to nurturing your mind and spirit, our conversations will cover a holistic approach to well-being.
I'm one of your hosts, Ariana. Discover alternative health strategies aimed at optimizing every aspect of your life. If you're ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery and well-being, tune in, open your mind, and let's awaken your ego together. Welcome to a life-changing adventure on the Awaken Your Ego podcast.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Ego Podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, Brett Butler from the Performance Lab.
Hey, Brett. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
Now, here's a little bit about Brett for those of you that don't know him. He is the founder and owner of TPL, which is the Performance Lab. Brett Butler is one of the best in the business. Initially known for his athletic training, Brett's expertise in the fitness industry has allowed the lab to grow into the booming facility that it is today. The Modesto native has long dreamed of giving back to the community that shaped him, and that's how his vision for the gym began. From an idea between friends to his top-notch facility, TPL has become a staple of the city. Brett is a former Delta State University collegiate athlete and holds his bachelor's degree in kinesiology from the California State University Stanislaus. He has interned with the Louisiana State University football team, has coached football and been the strength coach for various high schools and Modesto Junior College. He has trained people from all walks of life, kids, youth, athletes, women, pro athletes, from MFL, NBAD, NFL, PBA, and AFL, and overall, the general population. These experiences allow him to run his business with the knowledge, confidence, and charisma that you will see anytime he is around. Both Brett and TPL are just getting started, and he can't wait to unveil the next chapter in the business's journey.
Awesome. Very impressive.
Whoever wrote that really makes me sound really cool. Whoever wrote it, because it was not me.
It did. There's some great highlights in there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You've been busy for how young you are.
Hey, I like that. I'm young? Okay. Facts. I'm about 27.
Yeah. You look it. All right. So tell us a little bit. I mean, we just heard about you, but tell us a little bit more about yourself and what inspired you to start.
Like the bio said, obviously born and raised here in Modesto. So I didn't think I was a pretty normal kid, just like everybody else. I played sports. It kind of was like everything to me. Obviously, I was very fortunate that I had a lot of success. I feel like sometimes when you have a lot of success in sports, especially in a town that's not small but not big, you kind of get to know a lot of people and you get a lot of opportunities. So it led to me to getting a full ride scholarship. I played football in Mississippi, so that was really cool. Then, fortunately for me, I met your father. Your father was like probably the first mentor I really ever had. Your dad's actually the one that actually taught me how to lift weights. Until I meeting your father, I'd never squatted, power cleaned. I really hadn't done anything but just play. So
just God-given at that point.
God-given. I didn't want to say it. Because I didn't want anyone to think out.
I said it.
Okay, cool. Well, since you said it, I can say it now. So obviously your dad, some other people obviously I met through him. Definitely, I feel like really honed me into being like an actual athlete. Like really learn how to take care of your body and doing the things to be really, really good. And from there, everything else kind of blossomed. Your dad gave me my first opportunity with learning how to train people, and like actually having a facility to do it at. Funny story, story time. I called your dad. This was I remember it was on a Tuesday in 2013. And I told your dad I got an opportunity to go back to the South, so in Louisiana, to go coach for my college coach. So I told your dad, hey, I'm going to take the opportunity. I'm going to move. I really appreciate everything that you've done for me, but I want you to hear it from me. Your dad, I texted because I know your dad was working. He works literally 24 hours a day. So he actually said, hey, can I come by and see you tomorrow? He said, I really don't want you to go. And I was like, well, I got to go. And so he said, what would make you stay? At 23 years old, I was like, I don't know, money, I guess. I had really no answer for him. He said, okay, well, before you call your coach, don't call him tonight. Just let me come and see you. So He came by at 4:30 the next day, so I'd have been on a Wednesday. And he said, hey, I really think that you like have a cool thing. Like I had called the program TPO at the time. I just kind of had to have a name for it. And so he said, hey, what if I make a deal with you? Me and you come up with a price of what you'll make, and you'll never have a boss again. You do everything 100% what you want. If you do that, you have to commit to staying for 2 years. In 2 years, if you don't like it, then you go. But in 2 years, if you do like it, you have to stay and you have to see it through. This is literally while I'm training, like in the middle of training people. So like on the fly, he was like, what's enough money for you? I was like, 50. He was like, 50 an hour?
Like 50 what?
Yeah, 50 what? He was like, 50 an hour or 50,000 a year? I was like, the year.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And so he was like, all right, he's like, what if we just do 4 days? He said, I'll give you $4,000 a month. You do whatever you want. I'll give you like some benefits and stuff like that, but you have to commit for 2 years. He said, in a month, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, I don't want to have this conversation with you again. For 2 years from this day, moving forward, you just work. And then he stuck his hand out. He said, if you do that, I'll cut you the check literally tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, $50,000 sounded like a lot of money.
Oh, at that age, it's killing it.
At that age, it sounded like a lot of money. I was like, oh, so I'm about to be rich?
Like this is it for me.
Yeah, you mean you talking about I can go to Macy's whenever I want and buy stuff? That's all we have here now. And you mean, kind of like the rest is history. So, you mean, like a funny story, obviously, obviously hits home because obviously he's your father. And he definitely is the first person to ever give me like an opportunity like that. But it's funny to think about it now. Mm-hmm. Think like, dang, that's all. And I kick myself in the head like, I should at least ask for like 70. But like, in my mind, that seems so far away at 23. So it was like now, being 35. But you said I'm young, so for the sake of the podcast, we're going to say I'm 28. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I should have asked for so much more.
Okay, if I'm 36, 35 is young.
I don't know how old you are. If you're going to say you're 36, then you're 36.
No, but I think that's beautiful, and I love to hear that. I did not know that story, to be honest, because at that time I wasn't in town. But I think sometimes it just takes that little spark, like someone to believe in you, and you're like, oh shit, I got this. He thinks I got it. Now I got it. Like I got to figure it out.
Do something, yeah.
No, I think that's great, and that's probably the kind of impact that you get to have on other people as far as
definitely definitely not like how he did it.
No, in a different way.
In a different way, though, but yeah, for sure.
So looking back, what would you say was your biggest challenge that you faced transitioning from an athlete to then an entrepreneur?
Ooh. Back then, it was hard. I think obviously being an athlete, like everything is fun. So like I wake up, like I BS in every class because I know I have practice later, and I get to hang out with my friends and basically just to hang out, just be a guy. So when I wasn't in a locker room every day, it was like kind of tough, like when I kind of had to transition to being, I guess, what professional is in the gym. Obviously, it's not probably the same level of professionalism as what you guys do, but it's different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you have women, older women, you got grandmas up in there. So it's like, it's different than like being around with a bunch of dudes like my age that talk the same way I talk, the same type of slang, dress the same. So it was hard because it was like, man, like I had to, as the first time probably in my life, I had to learn how to like compartmentalize certain things. Like, okay, for the next 6 hours, this is the Brett that I have to be, right? And then the next 6 hours, this is who I can be. It might be like a whole bunch of hours before I get to be myself in my own space. You know what I mean? So that was hard, and not competing, having to have bills. Obviously, until like I guess I became an entrepreneur, I never really had a real bill. You know what I mean? Like little stuff, but nothing like it is now, where I had to be accountable for something every month on time. Like that was the first time I had ever done that because as an athlete, it pretty much gets taken care of for you. You just kind of meander through life, you know, but
well, and that's a big growth moment, that age. It's like, 100%. I feel like that's one, it's already hard to transition from being a kid to being a full adult, like you're saying, but also having a business behind, all that pressure of that too. It's like you're having to manage all of that at the same time.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I remember obviously when I finally opened up TPL, like at that time, I hadn't owned a home yet. I think I had maybe barely finally bought a car. Like I had nothing. You mean? So it's kind of interesting. I went from having no bills to like oh, I owe this?
And this is on my name?
I've never even seen this number before. Mm-hmm. Like that was like kind of crazy. And then like learning, you know, a profit and loss sheet, all that stuff, like a balance sheet, like assets, depreciation, like I had never even heard those words. I count sets and reps all day.
Yeah.
So to learn that, you know, to learn all those things, it was kind of
higher number.
Yeah. I remember just being like, you know, like I really just want to work out. Mm-hmm. Like I can't just work out and you make it happen. Oh no. So yeah. So that was like, I guess that would be the biggest challenge. Just everything happened for me super, super fast. You know, I went from being an athlete to obviously the opportunity that their father gave me, and that was on a very like it was still a controlled atmosphere because I had him. Mm-hmm. You mean there was like infrastructure like set up. So when obviously I got the opportunity to open up my own company, like then we had to make the infrastructure. You mean where it wasn't already in place. Mm-hmm. So kind of like, oh snap, like what's a CRM system? What does that mean? Like how do you take payments? Okay, double charged her. How do you get the money? All those things that I wasn't worried about the first 2 years, I now had to be, worried about every single thing, So I really was never off when I worked for Dr. Rhodes. I definitely haven't been off for the last 10 years for sure. So I guess that would be the biggest thing, just the amount of responsibility at such a young age. Like for your dad, I started working for him at 23 and then I opened up TPO at 25.
Yeah.
So, at 25, you haven't done, I wasn't even a dad yet. I had no real responsibility, other than myself, which I'm probably not even the most responsible for. So, it was just kind of crazy.
What do you think makes the Performance Hub different than any other training facility people could go to?
Ooh, good question. Me for one, I think I'm pretty unique. But I don't know. I think it's different. Our motto kind of always has been like, we're going to train everybody like an athlete. Mm-hmm. Like obviously like that's kind of like a sliding scale. Like not everybody's going to do everything like me, but my mom, shout out to my mom. Like she's 60. I know she's going to get mad right now. I think she's 64. Yeah, something like that. 64, something like that. Yeah, we're going round down. But like same thing, like my mom will run, she'll do clean, she'll do deadlifts, she'll do her level of box jumps. Like I feel what makes us unique is that everybody gets that style of training, no matter what class you go to, what your fitness level is. Like we kind of try to treat everybody the same, but it's different, And so like we used to have a model back in the day saying that TPOs for, we welcome everybody, but it's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like you got to actually want to get better. Sometimes I think some people look at their physical fitness as like, I'm just going to go to the gym, but I'm BS just to say that I went there. Where it's kind of like, nah, bro. Like
for the selfie,
You about to get it in. you about to get it in here. You know what I mean? Like even if it's just walking and you can only do 5-pound weights, like we about to go hard with these 5-pound weights, So I feel that's what makes us a little bit different. We want everybody to exceed where they came in at rather than just doing the whole I'm gonna stay the same. And obviously I kind of got that from your dad. He was real big on that. So I think that's something that I've carried with me the last decade for sure.
No, we little history. I feel like in the building where Ego is, the back area where IV lab and facial room art used to be just empty. It was like an empty space. Used to be a PT office years and years ago. But my dad, huge fan of weightlifting, powerlifting. He like made a little weight room back there, and I feel like it was a fun little playground for like me, Brenna, Brett. I feel like we had a whole crew that would just go in and work out. And I met someone the other day that knew Robbie Martin.
Oh, no way.
It just cracked me up. I was like, dude, I haven't thought about him in a minute, but he was part of that crew too, like working out. And it was just like fun times, like being physical and doing things that were in that gym that were bettering us, not like debaucherous or we weren't being stupid. We were just kind of having fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, learning how to lift. It was good.
Funny story.
I know what you're gonna say. I literally that vision in my mind.
Let's hear it.
First time I ever meet Ariana. Actually, first time I met any of them. Me and my friend Mason, just seen Mason on Saturday. We go to the back room that she's talking about, and Ariana and Cody were there. You made her husband, right? Beautiful family. And so we were there, and I don't really remember what Mason said, but whatever he said really pissed off Ariana, like really pissed her off. And we were sitting on, the big yoga balls. Had only met this girl 5 minutes before. She walked up and literally kicked the shit out of the yoga ball. He falls on his back, hits his head, and I'm thinking in my mind like, bro, we're for sure getting kicked out.
I'm like, is it funny now?
Yeah,
is it funny now?
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there. I'm the only black person in the whole building. So I'm like, I really can't say anything right now.
Oh, stop.
And so I'm just sitting there like, she like about to kill him. And then Dr. Rhodes walks in. I was like, oh, bro, it's over for us. And he starts laughing. So she kicked it out from Mason. Mason got a concussion. She's young.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
It was pretty chaotic.
It's okay. Your dad's a doctor.
I mean, it was pretty chaotic. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even trying to talk to her.
And I'm like, this is how we roll here.
Yeah. Every time I'd see her, I'd be like,
She flinched at you.
yeah. Like she tried to like punk me. Like,
So I thought you were going to talk about the time. So that was I didn't remember that. No, one time we were all lifting and we were trying, we were practicing our cleans. Do you remember that?
Yes,
it was my turn to get on
I was trying to leave it out.
Okay, well, I'll tell it because I'm already embarrassed about it. So we're practicing our cleans. I went a little heavier than normal for me. I'm like, let's try. I felt like beast mode, like I got this. I go to clean. I fall on my ass. Like I had to throw it and abandon it, and I just fell down. And there's like all these guys looking at me, not sure if they should laugh or if they shouldn't.
Oh.
And I was like, I wanted to run away and cry. I just laughed. It was funny, but it was one of my more embarrassing moments. I think in the weight room, I felt like
we all have a moment where we're ego lifting.
Yeah.
It went wrong.
I wasn't even ego lifting, but it turned into just shame lifting at that point. I just felt shame after, but good times in that weight room for sure.
Sounds like good times.
Yeah.
How did you even start working out with my dad?
He was cool with John Epster.
Oh, yeah.
So I would go to the back and work out with John, and then John was like, hey, like, you should work out with him. And I was like, work out with him? And he was like, yeah.
You're like, this guy?
Like, okay, another funny story. My mom went to the doctor sometime last week, and she brought up that she obviously wants to start doing you guys peptides, so she was talking to her doctor, saying she's going to come over here. And then I guess my mom's like, yeah, my son is friends with Dr. Rhodes. And I guess the doctor literally stopped everything they were doing, and she was like, how old's your son? So I guess my mom was like, oh, he's 35. And she was like, you understand Dr. Rhodes is like double your son's age, right? And my mom was like, he's not double, but yeah, I do
Damn,
know.
yeah.
But it was funny. Like, my mom's like, I'm literally in the doctor's office arguing with the doctor that you're not friends with Dr. Rhodes. Because the doctor's like, there's no way Dr. Rhodes hangs out with it. It's funny. My mom was like, well, when they hung out, my son was like 19.
Yeah.
So,
You're like, they're cool like that.
But it was funny. My mom was like, yeah, she was really like intrigued. Like, how does your son really know him? So my mom kind of like broke it down to him. But yeah, John would train out the back.
Yeah.
Him and Earl. And so I was over there.
Oh, Earl, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were over there like all the time. So I was in your dad. I didn't know your dad at the time, but I would train there like 3 or 4 days a week for at least a couple years.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously I would see your dad. He'd come and say hello, just being nice, talk to John and talk to Earl, but I never really talked to him. And then as I got a little bit older, John was like, hey, you need to like start doing stuff with him. He's the guy, blah, blah, blah. And so then your dad texted me one day, and I came, and then it just started from there. You know, and then obviously I'd be with your dad there like Monday through Friday probably. You know, we'd lift, I think, every day once he got off. So it would change. Sometimes it'd be 6, sometimes it'd be 7, sometimes it'd be 8, you know.
You lived for like 3 hours.
Oh, long.
Yeah, and then I remember it's funny. That's when I found out what Botox was. So like, he was like, yeah, I have a Botox party. I was like, what's that? He was like, come. I come, and there's all these ladies, and he's doing like all the injections and stuff like that. I was like, bro, this is crazy. But like, literally, it made us lift at like 9:30 at night because it took so long to like for him to service like everybody. So,
Yeah.
it was kind of always just like, well, you let me know. I was like, give me like a 30-minute window. when you think you're going to be done, just text me. I'll be there like in 30 minutes to an hour. And then it was like that, I think, the whole 2 years I was at JC. You mean, I trained with your dad.
You know what's funny is full circle. John Epster, him and my dad are still like close buddies, but he was just training Sawyer last week, like on her hitting, like for softball. He's giving her tips on like hitting and catching, and she was like, "Mom, he taught me this and this," like little tweaks, but it's all stuff you don't know unless you've been a coach for a million years like him, and it was just really cool. But she did, dude. Yeah. She's getting, it's clicking finally. But it was just funny to think about. I'm like, I remember going to MJC sports camps when we were little, because he was, you know, running the basketball team there and stuff. It's just been a long time.
Yeah, and I just started maybe a year ago now. I started training his daughter.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, which is like, you know, kind of crazy. Like, man, like I remember they would like what I do with Ace, right? Like I'll go and train kids, and Ace is kind of on the side.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember John training me, and he would have Buzz and his daughter there and all that. And I've trained Buzz, you mean? So it's crazy. Like now his daughter, I think she graduates this spring. So it's coming up pretty soon. So it's kind of crazy thing. Like, man, I remember when they were super, super small.
Yeah.
And their dad training me. And now like she's coming to TPO to train with me. So it's just like, man, like.
Full circle.
That does make me feel kind of old.
Yeah. No, that does. Saying that out loud, it does. What do you think is one misconception people have about athletic performance training?
One, I think people believe like you have to be an athlete to do it. And I think movement is good for anybody. You mean just getting 100%. Out and moving. So obviously the more strenuous movement you do, I think it is better for you. Obviously within like healthy parameters. And then two, like I feel like parents, if we're like shifting it to like the athletic side, I feel like parents, they'll say things like, oh, I want to be like sports specific. And I feel like that's like such a butchered concept. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of coaches out there, it's gonna sound like I'm talking mess, but I feel like there's a lot of coaches out there that say like, oh, I'll train your kid to be sports specific. And they'll do things that I think to like the untrained parent makes sense, but it's really like all BS. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're saying, like with your daughter, right? Like the only way she's going to get better at hitting is hitting. You mean? So she needs to hit all the time. Now, obviously she can do stuff in the weight room that translate to hitting, that make her stronger, make her better at rotating and all that type of stuff. But like, I shouldn't have your baby come in with a bat and have her swing in the, you mean like doing dumb stuff. Like I see people jump on a box with a basketball and just a bunch of stupid things. You know what I mean? But I think it's more of like coaches do it because they want to appeal to the parents to get their money, but it's like your kid's not going to get any better. You mean your kid needs to get strong, your kid needs to be able to bench, squat, deadlift. Like it doesn't sound appealing, but the stronger your kid is, you mean doing the plyometrics where your kid knows how to take that strength and apply it and reapply it, you mean multiple times to like translate into power, that's going to make your daughter hit home runs. On top of her learning how to get her, you mean, so like, you mean, I feel like that's the misconception. Like people believe like, oh, I want my daughter to swing good. Can you give her like a 10-pound weight and have her swing it back and forth? It's like, no, that'd be kind of, you mean, but I feel like that's what they want though. You know what I'm saying? And then for older people like ourselves in here, the mature people of the world, you mean, I feel like a lot of us go, oh snap, like I'm not an athlete anymore. Like I don't need to do that. I don't need to squat. And it's like, no, you probably need to squat more now than ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I know.
Especially women, right? Osteoporosis,
all that stuff. And then too, like I tell people all the time, like, you want to pick up your kids or you want to pick up your grandkids. Yeah. I mean, you want to get down on the floor and play. Like, it's not just about like you looking good. Like looking good is just a byproduct. But you want to be able to have like a great life. You want to be able to go to the store and pick up the case of water. You mean like all the things that you took for granted when you were 12.
It's funny you say that because I feel like when I was a newer mom, I had 2 kids. I was starting a company myself, and I feel like I was the last person on my priority list. You know, I was like producing outward all the time and not like investing in me. And I felt good enough. I was like, oh, I look good enough. Like I'm fine. I finally got to a point where I felt not strong. And I feel like most of my life I've been blessed with more muscle, you know, it's easier for me to build muscle and keep muscle. And finally I was like, dude, I'm worried about picking something up. I'm anxious about hiking. Like, am I going to be okay? And that was the point where I was like, this is not me. I need to get back in the gym, figure it out. But that was my big motivator of like, what am I doing to myself? Like making it harder to do the stuff I actually like. Like why? You know, why not stay strong so I could do whatever I feel like that day? Yeah. But I think sometimes we put it on the back burner until one day we realize, hold on, why did I keep this on the back burner for so long? Like it's time to revamp that aspect of myself, I guess.
What do you think is the most underrated quality that athletes and high performers should focus on developing?
I would say like a really good recovery plan. Like sounds like super generic, but it
sounds lame, but it's really important.
It's super important. You know, like I think like obviously like being an entrepreneur, like you're always hustling. You're always thinking about the next best thing. You're always thinking about how to grow your company and what to do. But it's really, really hard to like pour from an empty cup. Yeah. And like, you know, I know you hear that everywhere, but like obviously like a testament, like I go to sleep at 11 o'clock at night. I'm up at 4. Like I could do that for 3 or 4 months, but then like that 5th month, it's like everything's hard. You know, I'm not the same when I'm coaching. I'm not the same parent. I'm not the same partner. Like I'm just not the same because I'm just
drained.
You know, and same thing with athletes, right? You mean like myself, when you get away with stuff for so long, you think it's okay for me to eat bad. I don't have to hydrate properly until like you get a little bit older or you get an injury finally, and it's like, oh snap, like this is like actually really hard for me. So I would think obviously everybody's a little bit different. So I guess this is where you guys kind of come in. You mean like obviously since doing the peptides with you guys and your guys' company, I do have to say like this is probably the best I've felt probably since forever.
What have you? I love that you brought the peptide because that's right. You have been doing the BPC combo and the MK677, right? What are the things you kind of started noticing first?
I pulled my groin a little bit before taking that, and I couldn't if I drove from here to Turlock 20 minutes, like I would get out the car and I'd have a limp just because it was like my leg got like
tight,
like real tight, and like I'd have to like work it out. So it was like I was like, oh man. So I feel like the best thing has been recovery. Like I feel like I sleep better. I wake up better. Like I just feel like I have more energy overall. Like my workouts have been better. So the way I feel is like times 10. You mean like everything's been better. Like, so I plan on, continuing to do that. So, and I've been telling everybody, I was like, man, like you need to do it. Like it's one thing to say like, oh, I'm gonna sleep more. But that's, as an entrepreneur, it's hard. Because you might be like, oh, I have a deadline. Like, oh, I have to stay up and get this done.
Yeah.
Or I have to get up early and do this. Or I have to take this meeting. You mean like, so some things are kind of like non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So like being like, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep every night at 10, that lasts for about 2 days. And then before you know it, you mean it's like, shoot, I'm still in the bed at midnight. I'm still up early. So having something that I guess like it's like a cheat code almost. You mean like, oh, I know
Little
if
biohack.
You mean like, so I could still stay up till 12, but I'm gonna feel the same. I could still go run 4 miles and lift, and it's not the next day like, oh snap, like my groin, like I couldn't even like lunge, couldn't walk, couldn't barely run, and like literally last week was my 5th week being on it, and I ran 4 miles nonstop.
That's great.
But like in 5 weeks, I went from not being able to like run down the street to hitting 4 miles like in a very small amount of time. And
that's awesome.
man, I know I like to say, like it's God given. but
at this age,
you mean I got to give it up to the peptides.
Well, and honestly, I love that the peptides are so specific. Like there's so many options for your exact need, but I love how it optimizes certain systems. Like 100%. You said, maybe I'm not increasing the quantity of sleep, but I'm getting way better quality every time I'm going down, or the recovery is optimized. And so I like playing with the different peptides and tweaking, different systems that aren't quite running efficiently. Cody, my husband, does construction, and he's just breaking his body every day out there in the heat and lifting crazy stuff. But when he's taken the MK6 then the BPC, he's not achy. Like he's like, I feel like I'm actually recovering, not just continually depleted. So I love that you're feeling the same.
You ever play video games?
I have.
Like, you have.
I have before, and not by choice, but I do have a son that's 11. Sometimes I play.
Okay. Ask him. Like when you play video games, like and they're fighting somebody, you guys ever watch their little meter? Like it goes down, right? Like that's what I feel like that's what the peptide is. Like when I pop the
little
peptide,
Brett's out there, like Ready Player One.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Mario. When Mario gets the mushroom, he grows.
Yeah,
that's what the peptide is.
I love that visual.
Good visual.
We need to make Brenna a graphic with Brett's face on a. Don't like energy up.
Yeah.
So with all that you have going on, because you're busy, how do you stay motivated to continue growing in your field?
Oh,
especially when you feel like you don't want to.
Yeah.
I guess like it's different now. Like I'm a dad, so like I feel like before it was just I feel like I've always been a really intrinsically motivated person. But obviously that isn't. I feel like I've always pulled bits and pieces like of life or something that's happened in life or something that somebody said that like might hurt my little feelings. Where it's like, oh, I don't want to do it today, but I remember like literally like I have like my mom says I have a memory like an elephant. Like I can recount things that my mom said to me in like 2nd grade.
Oh, wow.
Or like what I got for my 8th birthday. Like I just kind of weird like that. But I feel like now being a parent, I feel like I'm motivated by different things. Obviously when you're younger, I feel like you're kind of motivated by money, you're motivated by status, like things that I don't want to say they're not important, but in your world, they're the biggest thing in your world.
Yeah.
Where now, my son, obviously being the biggest thing in my world now, like my motivation is to be a better man for him. So, and that has nothing to do with like status or money. It's like, okay, if I say I'm going to do something for 30 days, I really want to do it.
Yeah.
If I tell him, oh, we're going to go to the arcade, it's super easy to be like, just watch TV. Dad's tired. It's like, no, I said we're going to the arcade on Saturday. We're going to the arcade. So like, I feel like he is my motivation now. So what he wants or the type of man that I want him to be. You know, obviously one day he'll be a husband, one day he'll be a father. So it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like everybody asks me all the time, like, oh, like what sport is Ace gonna play? And like, to be honest with you, like when I first became a father, like that was like super important to me. Whereas now, do I want him to play sports? Yeah. Do I want him to wear my number? Yeah. You mean, but like, let's not get into this here. Let's not get into this. We need that full-ride scholarship for sure. Like that's definitely in the cards. But I really want him to be a good father. Mm-hmm. You mean I really want? I really want him to be a good husband. Like, and it's crazy to say that like out loud because I feel like when I first had him, like that was never on my mind.
Yeah.
But like as I've seen him grow up, it's like, dang man, like I feel like I'm truly successful the day I see my son like get married. Mm-hmm. And the day I see my son like treat his wife the way he's supposed to treat her, and treat his kids. I mean, like I feel like that to me would be like, oh snap, like I really did what I was put on this earth to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like in terms of training and athletes, I feel like everything that I was supposed to accomplish with that, like I've already done it.
When you already know you're on your way.
Yeah, you mean like I've already done it, but like I feel like the best thing you could do as a man is like truly be a father.
Oh yeah.
You mean and be a good one. You mean?
And I like that you see that macro picture, like that big picture, because I think some people get so stuck in, oh, if my kid doesn't do this, their life's going to be over. Or like it's some big metric. And just like you, I have a son, but he has flat feet. That's been really hard for me. And he doesn't like team sports. So I'm like, what do I do with you? Because it's and a heart condition. So I got him. He has a heart condition, flat feet. But as a mom, at first I was like, what are we gonna do though?
You could be a coach.
If he likes it, he doesn't even like it. But for me, I'm like, okay, now I get to be creative. It's not plug and play. Like, oh, I'm gonna bond with you over just this. It's like I'm gonna have to like play video games sometimes. I'm gonna have to do kind of what he's interested in. Yeah. And I'm all for it, like all about it. But it is just not, I guess, what I anticipated. Right. Yeah. But like you said, the big picture should be like giving them an awesome quality life, giving them true happiness, like teaching them those things that's gonna give them a step ahead so that they can enjoy life and not just get plugged into being a peg on a wheel, doing the same things because they think it's the right thing to do.
Because you never know what you're going to get with your kid. They can be completely like you or the opposite. Correct. And I think it's learning not to project what you want for them, but also honoring what they want for themselves. And like you say, you want him to be a good man, a good father, a good husband. It's realizing lead by example. Like in order for them to learn that, like with my daughter, I was like, I want her to be better than I am. But I need to show her what it's like to be a woman. And that's a lot of accountability. It's a huge responsibility. But it really puts into perspective of like, okay, what's more important is, you know, encouraging her to do this, to be in the medical field, or just to be kind and to be grateful. And
trust she's going to find her path anyway.
Exactly. How am I treating other people? Because she's seeing that. You know, it's like when your kid gives you sass, you're like, shit, where'd you learn that? And I'm like, oh, me?
You sound just like me, dang it.
So it's like, it's like you said, it's looking at the bigger picture.
And the only, like, truly shout out to my cousin Jamil. I hope he watches this. Like, he's the one that put me on that. Like, it was interesting. Like, we were having a big old family party, and we're talking about all these different things. And my cousin Jamil, he was the one that told me, he was like, you know what's crazy? He was like, we were never raised to be husbands. We were never raised to be wives. We were never raised to be partners. And I definitely think being obviously from, obviously African-American community, like that's true. My mom would always say like, oh, I raised my boys to be independent. I raised my boys that they don't need anybody, which I understand. But like talking to my cousin Jamil, like I get what he was saying. He was like, man, like part of you having issues like in your relationship or part of you having issues in your marriage is like, that's how you were raised. You were never truly raised to be a husband. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, maybe your mom and dad are married and you've seen them be married. So
other example.
You have that. But like what your mom and dad feed you every day was never to be a husband.
Yeah.
It was always to be
a strong individual.
Mm-hmm. It was always to be Brett. Everything that I am is what I've really been told to do my whole life. So I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Just, I feel obviously, when you mature and you go through different things in life, if you hold yourself accountable for what you should be holding yourself accountable for, I feel like you start to realize like, oh snap, like my parents did the best that they could with the information that they had.
Yeah.
And that's the information
that I had. And you can be nothing but grateful. Yeah.
Right. I can't be nothing but grateful. Because it could be a lot worse for me. But now having the information that they have and what I've experienced, it's like, man, like I feel like Ace, the third generation, I feel like Ace is probably the only one that has a true opportunity to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents don't come from anything. So they weren't taught that. So it was just the little bits and pieces that they could scrum up. And then they gave me and my brother way more. You mean, but obviously when you're learning from people that didn't have anything to learn from, you're not getting the whole the whole puzzle. You mean, you're still coming from a very marginalized community. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not embedded in everyday life. You mean, because your parents are still figuring it out. You mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like with Ace now, with my parents being where they're at, everything that I've obviously experienced, I feel like he's probably truly going to be the first one that can do truly whatever it is that he feels that he wants to do.
He has the privilege to exist different.
Right, than we ever did. But it takes me being like, oh, snap, like I really wasn't raised to be a good husband. That's probably why I wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, dang.
That's probably why I wasn't. And me too, like I feel like a lot of people like don't ever, like men. It's always like, man, my girl was tripping. It's like, nah, bruh, you were tripping.
Like, I can call my friends out. When I think, isn't that the farce of like growing up? You think, oh, when I'm an adult, you're going to get it. You're going to get everything. It's smooth sailing. It's like, I don't know why I had this like fantasy in my brain of what adulthood looked like. But it's realizing pretty quick that it's like, nope, it's a constant freaking learning curve that we're on somewhere.
I still know nothing.
Right? It feels like that. But I think what I'm realizing in my dynamic, and I've been married for a while now, is just like the more I can be aware of me and like you're saying, taking ownership of my actions. What am I seeing? What are the signs I'm seeing? Like, what can I adjust? The better off I am. So it's interesting how you say you were kind of raised to be an individual and focus on us. But I think sometimes in adulthood we flip and we think, oh, being an adult means you focus on everyone else but you. And then you have to come back around in your 30s and realize, no, when I invest in me, I'm also investing in everyone around me. But I think it's interesting how we all kind of go through that cycle and finally come back to like, well, pouring into yourself is like the most important thing if you want to do anything.
No, for sure. Me and my boyfriend were talking about that the other day too, because same thing. I told him, like, I was not raised to be a wife. I was raised by a single mom. So I learned how, when I was a single mom, because I was married too, then divorced, I was a great single mom.
We're like twins.
Basically. Like twins. So it was like, I could do it myself. I was still a mother. Like, I'm a great mother. But as a partner, it's like, I didn't know how to be affectionate. I didn't see my parents kiss. It was like awkward. I didn't see them be very loving.
See the softness of it.
Didn't see that at all. My mom was a strict Latina woman. So I learned how to be direct and bold and aggressive when I needed to get shit done. But when it came to being like a loving wife, I was like, I don't know how to do that. Because now, you know, obviously being pregnant with my partner.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
But he's like, you don't like PDA? I was like, I do, but like, I just don't know how to receive that. And, you know, it's not.
Well, when you're raised feeling like bad, or like that's not allowed, it feels like, ugh,
exactly. So it's like relearning. And again, it's like, I want Kendall, my daughter, to be kind because she's kind of the same way. You try to give her a kiss, she's like, ugh.
Just cat energy.
Yeah, total cat energy. So it's like, yeah, it puts it into perspective. Like you said, it's like, I need to relearn this. But I think it's just that self-awareness, you know, it starts with that. You have to realize where you fall short and to be able to decide, okay, do I want to stay like this? Yeah. Or do I actually want to improve? And like you said, your motivation is your son. Same thing. I don't want my children to be, or to have those bad traits because of like a generational trauma. It's like, okay, it starts with me and I need to do the work and trust that it's going to have a ripple effect on my kid.
For sure.
And your partner, his name is?
Patrick.
Yes, I grew up with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Aiken.
Oh, how funny.
I think that's Patrick's chick.
Yeah.
I think that's Patrick, yeah.
Do you know from basketball or what?
Just like the neighborhood.
Oh, got it. Like common friends or whatever. Small town.
Yeah, we run around and do stuff. Yeah. Small world.
That's a small world.
Yeah. He'll tell you all about me.
Oh, will he?
I'm like, oh yeah, Joanne doesn't want to kiss me in public. Like, sorry.
To be fair, he has never complained about you to me. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's
a good dude.
Saying it.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
All right, Brett. So what are some projects you have going on right now that you're comfortable sharing?
Projects?
What's in the works?
What's in the works?
Whether it's personally, like, or professionally, or
me. I'm the project.
Okay, what are we honing in right now? What are we honing in on this project? So you're taking time to focus on you right now.
Taking time to focus on me. But no, like in the serious, no. I told myself, like I said, I'm 35. So I told myself by the end of the year, I want to be in the best shape I've been in since like playing.
Love it.
You mean like, so like that's something that I'm super motivated to do. obviously I started doing it with my son, so he'll like kind of work out with me now, and we'll do obviously things that are appropriate for like a 6-year-old, like, like run the hill and do different things. But I want to be super, super healthy. For a while when I was younger, I used to read a lot. And so I would try to read different like self-help books and things like that. I want to get back like to being as healthy as I possibly can. Like obviously physically, I guess emotionally, mentally, all so that's like really my big, like I know it sounds funny saying me, but I mean, that really is my big project. I used to go to therapy. So I told myself for the rest of the year, I got to go to therapy. It's expensive, but I need to go like at least once a week. You know what I mean? At least once a week. I got to do that because obviously I feel like when I do talk to her, her name's Dr. Hunter. Shout out to my homie. Shout out to the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my therapist. I'm sorry, that was just funny.
Why is it funny?
Shout out to your homie.
I want her to get some clients so she can stop charging me.
Okay, every referral that Dr. Hunter gets from this
facts.
use code.
Yeah, shoot, Dr. Hunter, slide your boy a discount.
And then he'll tap in because it's already June.
Facts. I know. But like on a serious note, like I could tell like when I do talk to her like on a consistent basis, I feel like I'm always better. Mm-hmm. Because like I've been seeing her, I'm 35. I think the first time I ever saw her, I think I was like 29 or 30. So this is like 5 years in the making. So like, I feel like I could talk to her about a bunch of things.
She already knows all the history.
She knows the history, so it's like it's a way easier conversation. So it might even be something with the business, like something that like doesn't like sit right with me. So I might be like I could just text her like, yo, you got 30 for me? Just call her on the phone. What I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, am I tripping? Blah blah blah, and then.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really like. So it's like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I say she's really the homie. Like so, like I'm sure she see me. It's like, I know he's up to no good. If he's texting me after 5, something must have happened.
There's a crisis.
There's a crisis going on. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like between like reading the books, being healthy. I'm getting back to. I listen to music all day. Like at the gym, and obviously they don't be talking about nothing good. So like what I used to do is the first like hour of the day, like I always had to watch a podcast. And it could be about anything. It could be like what you guys do. It could be about finances. It could be about relationships. But I was really like for about a year and a half, I was really big on like the first thing that you put into your mind in the morning is probably what you think about all day. Mm-hmm. So if I put on Young Thug and he's talking about everything that he be doing.
Due to money.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Then you're thinking about that the rest of the day.
The rest of the day, you know what I'm saying? The rest of the day. I don't need to think about that every day.
No, you already do that enough.
Friday to Sunday, cool. Monday to Friday afternoon, I probably
business hours.
Mm-hmm. So let me think about business stuff.
Nipsey, something like that. He gets it.
You get what I'm saying.
He gets it.
You get what I'm saying? Victory lap. R.I.P. to Nip. R.I.P. to Nip.
Shout out.
Shout out Nip. Shout out Nip and Slauson. That's what I'm saying. Like all that type of stuff, I feel like for me, makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I'm like that, I feel like when I'm functioning like at a high level, I feel like there's really not much I can't do.
And doesn't it feel like things start clicking?
100%, 100%. Going to church, go back to church and do all that. So, I try to make a conscious effort to do that on Sundays and take Ace, or if my mom's going, I don't go, he goes with my mom. So all that type of stuff, I feel like when you're living, and I am a true believer, like when you're living right, a lot of things work out for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Times where your boy was really living wrong, I was going through a whole bunch of stuff. So, I feel like obviously God has really blessed me with a lot of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he giveth and he taketh away.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible. That's
true. There's a lot in the Bible.
Shout out the Bible.
Do you feel like you have your crew of people that kind of calls you out on your BS? Mm-hmm. I think it's funny as an adult, though. I think it's important to have those people that you can go to and be like, hey, like you're saying how you call your therapist up, like, hey, am I looking at this right? What's going on? And I think sometimes adults I've interacted with and met with, they stop creating a community. They're like, oh, I'm not on teams anymore. I'm not doing this. So they're just like are flying solo. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, I got to have a team. Like I like having people I can go to that are going to call me out and be like, Ariana, like this is about you. I don't know. I think that's a very important aspect that some people stop trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like find their little tribe.
If you don't have friends, you should have a therapist.
Well, I think everyone should have a therapist, first of all, but you're right.
Someone.
But especially that.
You can't find friends.
If you don't have, so basically what we've learned.
I think that's okay.
That is a very
If you can't make friends, get a therapist.
Talk to someone.
I do that goes a lot, like, obviously you mean like your partner. Like, it's funny, one of my friends, one of my really good girlfriends, she made a comment the other day.
Shout out to this mysterious girlfriend.
Shout out to the mysterious friend.
Okay.
Like one of my homegirls, she basically said that she didn't think the dude that she was dating was for her because it's difficult. And so I asked her, I was like, well, what's difficult? Like, he treats you bad? Like, and everything that she's saying to me, I was like, oh, you just don't like being held accountable.
You just don't like being in a
Like,
relationship.
you mean like you don't like being, you want to do that gives you butterflies every day? Like, how old are we?
Yeah.
You was not about to go to Sadie Hawkins dance. Like, you tripping. You tripping. I was like, oh, that's probably, maybe you guys shouldn't date, potentially, but if he is holding you to a higher standard and holding you accountable for the things that you should be held accountable for, I was like, man, he probably is good for your life because he's probably forcing you to look at things differently than what you want to look at it.
So don't be bitter, be better.
So don't be bitter, be better, baby. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
it.
So like, you mean like, so the same thing, whether it's your partner or your friends, like you definitely need people around you that do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think fortunately for me, you know, for the bulk of the time I've had TPL, like all of my friends have worked with me at some form or fashion, which is like good and bad. You know what I mean? But I think it's been cool because like, if I'm BSing, like we had a close enough relationship where they'd be like, hey, like, I know you're the boss, but you're really tripping right now. Like, you mean, you may not want to hear what I'm about to say. I might get hours cut or you might fire me, but your interaction with her was dead wrong. Like, so I don't know if you're having a bad day or what's going on with you, but that's not cool. And now if you have like literally the 5 people that you hang out with the most all under one roof doing that, I feel that's what made, kind of goes back to like what made TPL special. Like, it's that. You mean it was more like it was my family. You know, the people like, so I would be at work for 40, 50 hours a week with these 5 people. And then those 5 people, we'd all go to Vegas for the weekend. And it's been like that for years. You mean, so everything that I do in my life, from having my child to funerals, to birthdays, to family parties, like I see them all throughout the week and at my mama's house. You mean, so I feel like that was like really, really unique. You know what I'm saying? Extremely unique. And I feel like that's the only reason I've been able to do what I've been able to do. Not just because of me. I know, like, obviously I get a lot of the love because I guess I'm the face of it, but it's always about the team. The better team that you have and the better people that you have around you, you can always go way further. You know what I mean? So it's not really, I'm not the reason why TPL is successful. You know what I mean? I think being with family and being around love and being around people who genuinely want to see you succeed is what's made TPL successful. And then consequently me. You know what I mean? So having that level of accountability every day, you mean, I think you need it, and a therapist, even if you have friends.
Yes, I love that. I think that's, that's really important. And it's cool that you have that like support.
Where do you see the performance lab going in the next 5 years?
I guess if I had to say where I see it going, like I want to incorporate more of like the stuff that we've talked about. Like I think obviously just being young, all I worried about was like the weights and the fitness, but I definitely want to try to get more like wellness in there in terms of like how you feel and like what's bothering you, like where you're at emotionally. Like haven't figured that out yet, but I definitely think fitness is definitely trending in that direction where I feel like that's even more, that can attract and that can be something that anybody could use. You mean, especially if you're older, younger, if you have some type of ailment where maybe you can't train at TPL. You mean, like I would love to have something like attached or something within the company where you can still come and be a part of it and you might just be a part of the wellness aspect. You mean, so I haven't really figured that out yet. So I guess,
love that though. I think that's really cool, that mindset piece.
Yeah, you mean, so I haven't necessarily figured out how to do that successfully, like on a big grand scheme. Like I could do it one-on-one or I could do it with 20, but I can't do it with hundreds. You know what I'm saying? I just need to find a way to be able to like integrate it in that manner. So I guess that is the kind of the big project that I'm working on right now.
Really cool.
So I want to do that, and I would love to like be more of like, rather than being a gym, because we're just a gym right now, but almost be like a wellness hub. So like anything wellness, you could go there.
Yeah.
And like, oh, if you just so happen to like lift weights, oh yeah, we do that. If you just want to be kind of in like a community space and be around other free thinkers, be around other people that are kind of on the same wavelength as you, oh, I can go there and do that as well. You mean, so I want to kind of create that within the structure of the business. I just haven't figured that out yet.
It's in the works though. This is the year.
This is the.
When you start doing therapy, it's gonna just click. We're gonna figure it out this year.
Yeah, but then that means I can't go with Dr. Hunter.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
And that's the
Maybe she'll help you. She'll help you build it.
I'm sure, yeah. We all have new stages of life we need to talk to someone about.
Yeah.
Do you have a therapist?
No. I need one.
Do you want Dr. Hunter's number?
I might.
After this
Let's do it, yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you.
Give me your code.
I'm definitely tell us, please.
My daughter has a therapist, though, so it counts.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Well, thank you, Brett, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
It was enjoyable.
It was fun.
Learned a lot. It was awesome.
And what's your handle? Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me at TPL Systems. But if you want to get to know the real me, you can follow my personal IG, i.am.bre_T.
Oh.
If you follow me, shoot me a DM. Tell me that you found me off of Awaken Your Ego, and I'll give you a discount code to Dr. Hunter.
What? Let's go.
Cool, but thanks for having me. It was really nice talking with you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
For sure. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on another enlightening episode of the Awaken Your Ego podcast. We hope our discussions have inspired you to explore new dimensions of health and wellness.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback fuels our mission to empower individuals on their path to optimal well-being.
Stay tuned for more insightful conversations, and until next time, may you continue to awaken your ego and embrace the extraordinary potential within.
Take care, be well, and remember, your journey matters.